Hey there, let's talk about Hrot, a game that sounds like something got stuck in your throat. But what is it? Well, it is what you get when you tell your babushka that you want Quake. She tells you that you already have Quake at home and forgets to give it to you for 27 years. Because vodka-fueled dementia is a terrifying thing. Was the wait worth it though? Well, yes, so we'll tell you this game is another boomer shooter, but that definition doesn't make sense, as boomers think that video games are the second falling of Satan, and shooters tend to be in high school, which makes them a completely different generation. I prefer to classify this game as mentally deficient horror shooter, as being so efficiently jump-scared by a game that uses a pommel horse as one of its bosses made me feel retarded more than once. Hrot is also a simulator for a weekend on a communist paradise. We wake up, take a shower, kiss the portrait of the leader, take a ride on our bike to play some pool, cheat at pool, play with a matryoshka, kiss the portrait of the leader, admire the glorious advances of the Soviet space program, play on the park, read about Lenin, write down what we learned about Lenin, take some very nice horses and have a slight disagreement about which one is best horse with some cultist, kiss the portrait of the leader, kill the floating head of the leader, save a dog, save 4, feed your dogs, feed on your dogs, complete the cycle of life by recycling your dogs. Ignore a weird call from Peter before going to a rave with fascist fishmen where you'll drink a bit too much, launch a nuclear device by accident, and play some piano before going to sleep. And I hope you don't forget kissing the portrait of the leader one more time before doing that. The story is as follows. There's no story. We fight monstrosities in the old Czechoslovakia in exchange for traditional Czech recipes. But don't worry, I'll make one for you from the bits and pieces we can infer. Consider this a spoiler in the same sense I would spoil tomato sauce by reading you the ingredients. The year is 1986. A certain KGB agent has stolen a piece from the Oloy, Prague's astronomical clock, and implanted itself with it to fuel his dark powers. We, as a proud Czechoslovakian, get out of our shelter to put things in order by killing King Kong, evil tractors that will jumpscare us, combat helicopters, a statue of a grandma, and a robot that can't walk on stairs from Robocop, among many other things, before facing said KGB agent to whom we'll administer a delicate medical procedure, before crossing his pyloric sphincter and flushing ourselves down the toilet. This is a game where we do not ask, what were they drinking? As it was probably a mix of paint thinner and gasoline, we asked how many liters of it were they drinking, especially when the developer decided that using Unity or some existing engine to make a retro shooter is something only puny people do. So he proceeded to code his own retro engine that allows us to play this game in any resolution on your average vodka-making potato. If he delivers and ends up adding mod support, this game could end up becoming a treasure trove. Gameplay is as smooth as a cleanly shaven beer belly, and will happily roam around maps that curl upon themselves like the 3 stripes of an Adidas tracksuit when you squat, but full of secrets, tiny details and things to break. The pace is fast, but not as frenetic as in some modern retro shooters. And shooting feels great. Bullets have enough travel time to make the best of our reflexes, while keeping shootouts nasty. And there is the beautiful detail of having friendly fire, but no friends. Which means giving us the chance of making enemies commit involuntary treason through good positioning or by kindly returning their grenades with a well-timed kick. There is an acceptable variety of war crime tools and enemies to use them against. They are all satisfying to use, each weapon being better against certain mobs. Special props go to shotguns, as they manage to portray how pellets work in a way not many games do well, and are especially brutal on close range, which is nice, as in communism we don't have personal space. And while the arsenal is not huge, it's more than enough for a game that will only steal a weekend from your time. Difficulty is quite on point, especially if you're a moron like me and do not realize that there is a quick save button until the final chapter. Because as a man, I cannot read instructions. It's not coded on my genes, so I do what I can and then argue that it should have been done that way from the beginning. And here you certainly can ruin your gameplay by save scamming. So yes, not saving is the way to go, and you won't convince me otherwise. Sound design is functional as long as you ignore the machine gun sounding like a pea shooter, and the pistol like someone was spanking your rear end with a cardboard binder. Music is oppressive, industrial and gritty. What anyone would need if they went from a swim in the sewers of Czechoslovakia while shooting unknown mutants. I approve. If you like Quake, Chasm the Rift or similar games, but playing those puts you uncomfortably face to face with your own mortality whenever you remember the release dates, you'll like this one. Just don't let the brown dead ambience, the fact that everybody seems to be taking extreme measures against a certain virus, or those annoying noises coming up from your Geiger counter, make you start thinking that communism is only loved by tyrants and entitled kids who haven't worked a single day in their lives, while whoever managed to get away from it seems to despise it with a passion. That is Western propaganda. It is actually beautiful if you look at it with the proper mindset, and as anyone living under it can attest.
Communism is as good as the guy with the Kalashnikov tells you to say on camera before sending you to the gulag.
Which is extremely good. If any of this tickled you, there is a free demo, so give it a go. It was lovely having you here, my comrade, and I hope to see you on the next one.